Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make that beautiful frock round dress that you've just seen at the beginning of the video. This is a Pinterest inspired dress, as you can see on the screen, and I decided to use double crochet stitches for the whole dress. Here are the two dresses side by side, and you can see the inspo versus the final look. So let's jump right into the materials. For the materials, you will need yarn. The yarn that I'm using is Seagull, and I'm using a double strand. I'm going to be doubling my strand because my yarn is quite thin and I want to get a good thickness. So if you have a DK weight yarn, please make sure you don't double your strand. A DK weight yarn is the substitute that I would recommend for this project. So if you have a DK weight yarn, don't double your strand. I'm using a light fingering weight yarn. That's why I'm doubling mine. And this is the color that I'm going to be using. It's kind of like a butter yellow or a cream color. So this is the yarn that I'm using, and I used approximately 8 balls of yarn to achieve this particular dress, and that is a total of about 2,400 yards. Remember, I am using a double strand, so if you're using a single strand, make sure you have roughly 1,200 to 1,500 yards. And if you're using a double strand, you're going to need about 2,400 to 3,000 yards. And yeah, that's it for the yarn. I'll be leaving all the information in the description box below, so make sure you check it out for more clarity or confirmation of the materials that you'll need. And then for the hook, I am using a 4mm crochet hook. And yeah, this is my plastic yarn, this is my plastic hook, my best hook choice at the moment. Then you also need a pair of scissors to cut off your loose ends, and then a measuring tape. This is a must to take your bust circumference. This is the main measurement for this dress. And then you also need a darning needle and some stitch markers, and that's basically it. If you would like the written pattern, it's already available on all my online shops. I'll be leaving the link on the screen as well as in the description box below, so that you can get yourself a copy. The written pattern is on Ko-fi, Ravelry, Etsy, and on my website if you would like to grab a copy of that. So let's get started. All right, so to start off your project, I am going to use this sizing chart that you can see on the screen, and I am going to focus on the bust circumference. The bust circumference that I am considering for this particular design, which is for my client, because this is a custom order, is 34 inches. So I'm going to make a chain that is about 5 inches less than the bust circumference, the full bust circumference of my client. So make use of this sizing chart and focus on the bust circumference. Make a chain that is 5 inches less than the bust circumference that you intend to make for. So we are starting off with a slip knot and making a chain of approximately 29 inches, because that's 5 inches less than my intended bust circumference, which is 34. So 34 minus 5 is 29. So I'm going to make a chain of 29 inches. Just make a simple chain. Of whichever measurement that you ended up with after subtracting 5 inches from your bust circumference. All right, so I've made a chain of 120, and you should consider this measurement, that measurement minus 5 inches when slightly stretched. As you can see, without stretching, I have about 24 inches, but when I slightly stretch it, it goes to 29 inches. But if I fully stretch it, it even goes beyond to about 32 inches. So just consider a slight stretch of your chain in order to get a perfect fitting for your dress. So once you get that measurement, you're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th, you're going to yarn over. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's a double crochet in the US terms. You're going to continue to double crochet in each and every chain all the way across your foundation chain. So make sure your stitches are quite tight, because this is the upper part of the dress and you don't want those stitches to separate or to come apart to show the inner part of the dress. So this is what we have. I went with a double crochet stitch for my project. For the original dress, I don't know what stitch that is, but I believe it may not even be crocheted, and yeah, so I just had to choose a stitch of my own in order to achieve the look that I wanted for my dress. So go all the way across and I'll meet you back at the end of row 1. So we're coming to the end of row 1, and as you can see, I'm still placing 1 double crochet in each and every chain, and I'm placing the last one in the last chain. So this is what your row 1 will look like, very neat. We're going on to row 2. For row 2, you're going to just make a chain of 1, turn your work. This is how we're going to start each and every row. So you make a chain of 1 and turn and single crochet into the very first stitch, and then make another chain. So this will count as our very first double crochet. We don't want to leave a big space behind. So you make a chain of 1 and turn your work and single crochet in the very first stitch and make a chain of 1. This will count as our very first double crochet, and then go into the next stitch with a double crochet and continue to double crochet in each and every stitch across. So you can see how this hasn't created a space at the beginning of the row, just like we would have gotten if we had started with a chain of 3 at the beginning of the row. So that is a hack that you can try out for your next projects if you didn't know about it. And yeah, let me know in the comment section if you try it out for your next projects, because I know many people use double crochet stitches for projects. So we're going to continue to place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch across, and I'll meet you back at the end of row 2. So we're going into both loops of the previous double crochet. You just go into this space and double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So let me do that one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook into both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's a double crochet. Continue to double crochet once in each and every stitch all the way across your row. All right, so we're coming to the end of row 2, and I am still placing 1 double crochet in each and every stitch, and don't forget to go on top of the chain 3 or the chain at the end of the row. So this is what my work looks like. You're going to repeat this row again and again. You make a chain of 1 and turn your work, single crochet into the very first stitch, and then make a chain of 1. So this will count as our very first double crochet, and continue to double crochet in each and every stitch all the way across, only once. We are not creating any increases or decreases. We're just going into each and every stitch with 1 double crochet. So keep doing this until you get the thickness of the upper part of the dress that you want, minus 2 inches. The 2 inches that I'm talking about will be covered when we are doing the halter shaping of the top. So whatever thickness that you want for the top part of the dress, subtract 2 inches to cater for the halter shaping, and that is the thickness of the band that you're going to consider. So just keep working back and forth until you have this thickness ready. I'll be letting you know how many rows that I ended up doing, and also the measurement or the inches that I ended up considering for those people who want to consider measurement. Alright guys, I ended up doing a total of 5 inches altogether, and I've done a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 rows in order to get my 5 inches, but this can be even longer if you wish. I want this to be the length before I start on my halter shaping of the dress. So as you can see here, some stitches have unraveled. I just have to go ahead and continue to put them back on my 11th row. So this is what we have. Now we're going to go ahead and fold over our work like this. The halter shaping of the dress will be on this side. So for now, we are going to join the piece in the round, and then we start going all the way down. So to do that, you're going to still lay your work flat and take the measurement across your last row without stretching. So I have about 32 inches, but if I stretch it slightly, it goes to 34. So for me, I'm not going to create an extension, but if you have a measurement that doesn't go up to your bust circumference with a little or a slight stretch, then you're going to have to do a chain in between here. For example, I have a total of 16 inches, but when I slightly stretch, it can go to 18, which is half of my bust circumference that I'm considering for this design. So for me, I'm not going to go ahead and make any chain in between here. I'm going to just go ahead and slip stitch into the very first double crochet on the opposite side. So just like that. If you take a measurement here, you should be able to get half of your bust circumference when slightly stretched. But if you don't, and this is still a bit shorter, then you're going to have to make a chain in between here to get that measurement right. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and start working in rounds. But in order to do that, this time I'm going to stop turning my work. And we're going to start creating increases so that the dress can start spreading outwards, so that it's not a bodycon dress. So I'm going to make a chain of 3. Actually, a chain of 2, just like we've been doing before. Chain 2, and then into the same stitch, you're going to place a double crochet. that chain 2 at the beginning of the row doesn't count as a stitch. So you're going to just go ahead and double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches in order to get a total of 5 double crochets. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is the 5th, and then I'll create an increase by placing 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So just like that, we are going to repeat that all the way around. 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So that way our dress or our piece is going to start spreading out. So you're going to go all the way around until you come to the beginning of the round, and I'll show you how to wind up. Remember, we are now working in the same direction as the previous row. So keep doing that all the way around until you get back to the beginning of the round, and I'll show you what to do next. All right, so we've come to the end of the round, and I'm placing my last double crochet stitches and winding up my round. So when you come to the end, you make a slip stitch on top of the first double crochet of the round. So let's go on to our next round. We are going to repeat this round again and again until we get the width that we want at the base of our dress. All right, so just repeat this round again and again. So for me, my main aim is to get to around 50 to 52 inches at the base of my dress. So I will consider half of that measurement, which is about 25 to 26 inches across, because we are considering this and this. So when I get 25 to 26 inches here, I'll have a circumference of about 52 inches or 50 inches. So you make a chain of 2, and then into the same stitch you place a double crochet, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches to make a total of 5 double crochets, and then create an increase by placing 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So just like we've done for our previous row, we are going to repeat the same exact process again and again, and you'll notice that your dress is starting to spread outwards. One double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Alright guys, now for me, I did a total of 3 rounds of the increases every after 5 stitches. And once you get the width that you want, let me get a measuring tape. Okay, so once you get the width of the dress that you want at the base, for me this is taking me up to about 25 inches, which was my intended circumference. Remember 25 times 2 is 50. So my goal is to have 50 inches at the base of my dress. So at the moment I have 25 because I have to multiply it by 2. So this is perfectly fine. I'm going to just keep working plain rounds without increasing anymore. If you want your dress to be even wider, you should see that your dress is starting to spread out. So if you want it wider, you can even go ahead and keep repeating this round, maybe two more times. That will even spread it out even more. And once you get the best circumference that you wish to have, then you're going to just go ahead and make plain rounds of just 1 double crochet in each and every stitch. And don't forget, we are working in the same direction as the previous round. From the very first time that we joined in the round, we are just working around and around and around without turning our work. So let me just go ahead and do that, and I'll be back to show you what I have once I get my desired dress length. All right, guys, I continued to work my plain 1 stitch in each stitch from the previous round, and I did a total of 56 rounds right from when I joined in the round. I did a total of 56 rounds, and this measures about 25 inches. As you can see here, we have about 25 inches right from this point where we joined in the round to start working the lower part of our dress all the way down here. I have a total of 25 inches, but this can vary depending on the length of the dress that you want. So our increases at this point created some sort of ruffles, and that is the reason why we have a wider base on the lower part of our dress as opposed to what we have on the upper part of the dress. So now we're going to go ahead and create a halter shaping for our dress. You're going to place your work like this so that the opening is in the middle back of the dress, just like that. And then you're going to get a stitch marker and mark the exact middle front of your work. If it needs for you to fold over your work like this in order for you to get the middle point, just fold it and mark the exact middle point. This is supposed to be at the center front of your dress. Now we're going to count a few inches towards the side. For me, I'll be counting about 7 inches towards the side, or 8. Let me consider 8. Now for size extra small, consider 7 inches. Medium large, consider 8. And then for extra large to XL, consider 9 inches. So I'm making for a size medium, and I'm going to measure 8 inches away from this middle part. So I'm going to get another stitch marker. All right, so as I had mentioned, 8 inches for my medium size. I'm going to just locate where the 8 inches are and mark it with a stitch marker. So I'm going to count the number of stitches that I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 37 stitches all the way to this stitch marker. I'm going to count those 37 stitches to this side as well in order for me to make a mark on the opposite side. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'll have 2 stitch markers, as you can see here, and then I have the middle one here. So you're going to grab your yarn and your hook, and we're going to start the halter shaping of our dress. So I'm going to attach my yarn in this stitch right after the one with the stitch marker, just like that, and then make a chain of 2, which doesn't count as a stitch. And then I'm going to go into the next stitch. I'm going to do 2 double crochets together. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all. And then do that one more time, 2 double crochets together in the next 2 stitches. And just like that, we're going to go into each and every stitch from here with 1 double crochet until you have 4 stitches to the stitch with the stitch marker on the opposite end. So this one, we no longer need it. This was just to help us locate the exact middle of the front part of the dress. So just go into each and every stitch with 1 double crochet until you have 4 stitches to the one with the stitch marker. So what we are doing right now is creating the halter shaping of the dress. All right, so I have 4 stitches to the stitch marker. I'm going to do 2 double crochets together in the next 2 stitches, just like I did at the beginning of the row, and then 2 double crochets together in the last 2 stitches before the stitch marker. And just like that, we are done with row 1 of the halter shaping of the dress. Now we are going to start creating a drastic decrease so that we get that slant towards the center of the dress. So you're going to make a chain of 2 and turn your work. Now you're going to go into the first and the second. So 2 double crochets together in the first 2 stitches, just like that, and then continue to repeat that 2 more times. That's another 2 double crochets together, and then another one. So far we have a total of 3 groups of 2 double crochets together, but we want a total of 4. That means we do 1 more, 2 double crochets together. So that means we've done it a total of 4 times. So you're going to continue to double crochet once in each and every stitch until you have 8 stitches to the end of your row. So continue to do this until you have 8 stitches to the end of the row. All right, so I have 8 stitches to the end of the row, and I'm going to do 2 double crochet together stitches, a total of 4 times. That's 1, 2, 'I hope you still remember how to do the 2 double crochet together stitches. That's the 3rd, and then this is the last one. So this is what we have right now. This is row 2. Row 3, you're going to make a chain of 3 and turn your work. So for row 3, after making your chain of 3, we're going to do 2 half double crochet together stitches 6 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So after your 6 times of decreasing, you can see how our work is starting to look like. So after this, you're going to make 1 double crochet in each and every stitch until you have 12 stitches to the end of your row. And then you'll do your 6 groups of 2 double crochet together stitches, just like we did for our previous row. So this time there'll be 6, not 4. Alright, now I have 12 stitches left to the end of my row 3 of the halter shaping. So I'm going to do my 6 groups of 2 double crochet together stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's what we have. On the next row, we are going to increase again. So we're going to make a chain of 3 and turn our work. This time around, there are going to be a total of 8 groups of decreases. So 2 double crochet together stitches for a total of 8 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 'So you can see the slant that we've created, 7, and 8. So once you have that, you're going to go into each and every stitch with 1 double crochet until you have 16 stitches to the end of the row. So you can see the slant that we've created at the front of the dress. So I have 16 stitches to the end of my row. I'm going to start doing my 2 double crochet together stitches for a total of 8 times. And I think this will be my last row of that drastic decrease. For the final row, which is supposed to be the next row, I'm going to do something a bit different because I think I've gotten the slant that I want for the halter shaping of my dress. So this is my last 2 double crochet together stitch, and let's see what we have at the moment, so that we can decide whether we are done with the halter shaping of the dress. I think this is perfectly fine. Now for the next row, thank goodness it's worked on the right side, so I'm going to make a chain of 3 and turn my work. Now I'm going to just do 1 decrease, 2 double crochet together stitch, just like that. And for all the next stitches, I'm just going to go into each of them with only 1 double crochet until I have 2 stitches to the end of my row. All right, so I have 2 stitches left, and I will make my very last decrease at this point by placing 2 double crochet together stitch at the end of the row. Now this is what our slant looks like, and we are now going to make a chain of 1. And I think this is totally comfortable. If you feel like you need to decrease any more than this, then it's really up to you to go ahead and create decreases or make this a little bit thinner. But I feel like this is very comfortable for my dress. Now we're going to go ahead and create our straps that are supposed to go all the way to the back of the dress. So for me, I think I'm going to make a strap that is very long, that can lace up this part as well, this area here, so that we don't have to kind of roughly estimate the length of the strap, because sometimes they even stretch and go out of proportion. So to do that, I'm going to just make a very long chain of about 300 or 200. I'll let you know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, guys, I ended up doing a total of 150 chains, and I'm going to go back into each and every chain with a slip stitch. So you set your hook and pull through all. Just keep slip stitching into each and every chain in order to make your chain a little bit more sturdy and reliable. So into each and every stitch or chain stitch with a slip stitch. This is going to take a while, but we are trying to make our strap a little bit thick and more reliable, as opposed to just a plain chain. So you can see the difference between this and this. So let me go ahead and keep slip stitching until I get back to the body of my dress, and then we shall see what to do from there. All right, so when you make it all the way down to the base of the strap, this is what you're going to have, something more sturdy and stronger than just a plain chain. And then you're going to go into the same space and make a slip stitch and make a chain of 1, cut your yarn, pull through. Now you're going to go ahead and make your second strap, just as you can see here. We have 2 long straps, And now we're going to go ahead and clean up the edge of our dress around the top opening of the dress. So you're going to grab your yarn and attach it at any point on the top edge of the dress. So let's just turn it to the back side and start from that side. So I'm going to go in between the stitches here. Okay. All right, so after attaching your yarn, you're going to go into the middle of the stitches with one single crochet. In between the stitches, that's where I'm placing my single crochet. In between there. So you're going to do that all the way across until you get to the side slant of the dress. So what we're trying to do right now is to clean up the top edge of our dress so that it looks really neat and uniform. All right, so when you make it all the way across here, you're now going to go onto the side slant, and we're going to go ahead and place 2 single crochets in each and every row. Two single crochets in each row. Just like that, we are done with the side slant, cleaning up the edge here. And now I'm going to just skip over to the front side of my dress. Make sure you're working this on the right side of your work. So I go in between each and every stitch with 1 single crochet. So continue to work all the way across the front side of the dress. In between the stitches, that's where I'm placing my single crochet row. All right, so we've made it all the way across, and now we're going to go into the side slant of the dress and place 2 single crochets in each row. When you make it across the side slant, you're going to go in between the stitches on the next side or the back side of the dress. in between the stitches and keep placing 1 single crochet. So now we've made it to the back of the dress, and what we are trying to do is place 1 single crochet in between the stitches on this stretch, just like we did here. So just like that, we are done cleaning up the edge. You can see how beautiful the edge is. I'm going to go all the way down and back to the beginning of this single crochet row so that I clean up the sides of this piece as well. So go into each and every row with 2 single crochets all the way down. All right, so I've made it all the way down, as you can see. Now I'm going to go all the way up. If you have a chain in between here, if you made an extension, you're going to go into each and every chain and then go onto the opposite side with 2 single crochets in each and every row on the opposite side, as you can see here. Now I'm going all the way up until where I started my single crochet row, or cleaning up the edge, because we started from this point here. So let me go all the way up, placing 2 single crochets in each and every row. All right, so we've made it all the way up. I'm going to slip stitch in the very first single crochet of the round because we've gone all the way around the dress. Make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through. Now you can get rid of these loose ends. We have some loose ends here, so I'm going to just make double or triple knots depending on what feels secure for me. From here you're going to just go ahead and cut off the excess yarn, or you can use a darning needle to hide those tails, but this is perfectly fine because this is the right side of our work and you always weave in your ends on the wrong side of the work. So go ahead and identify any loose ends that you may be having and use a darning needle to weave them in, or if you have 2 strands at the same point, you can just go ahead and make a knot to secure it even more. So this is what we have for our dress, and the way I want my client to wear this dress is just fold over like this and then crisscross it to this side. I'm not going to tie it several times. So this one to this side, just like that, and then I tie a knot. I'm not going to do anything dramatic, just create an X at the back and then weave it through the first row of double crochets and then make a knot here. So just like that, we have this beautiful halter shaping of the dress. If we turn it to the right side, this is what you're going to end up with. You can see that slant. I'm very sure we shall see it on body, but this is what we have for now. So at this point, the general shape of the dress has been achieved, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create your flowers that are going to be attached onto the different points of this dress. Alright guys, this is how the flowers are going to look like. I've already done several of them, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make these ones. So I'm going to put these aside. And you're going to grab your yarn and your hook. I'm still using my 4mm crochet hook to make my flowers. So I'm going to make several petals. A petal looks like this. They're like leaves that are joined together to make a flower. So this is the leaf pattern that I am going to teach you how to make. You're going to start off with a slip knot. And you're going to make a chain of 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So I have my 13 chains here. And you're going to go into the second chain from the hook, which is this one. You're going to go in there with 1 single crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all. And then single crochet into the next chain. So far we have 2 single crochets, and then half double crochet into the next, half double crochet into the next chain. So far we have 2 single crochets and 2 half double crochets, and then 1 double crochet into the next chain, 2 double crochets into the next chain, so 1 and 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain, 1, 2, and then you're going to place 1 double crochet into the next chain, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 chains, so 1 in this one and then 1 in the next. So we have 2 chains left. You're going to go into each of them with 1 single crochet, so 1 and then 1 in the next. So now we're going to go onto the opposite side. So where you placed your last single crochet, you're going to go in there with 1 single crochet, and then single crochet into the next chain, half double crochet in each of the next 2 chains, 1 and then 2, double crochet into the next chain, make sure you get that chain right, double crochet in there, and then 2 double crochets in the next chain, 1 and 2, and 2 double crochets into the next chain, 1 double crochet into the next chain, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 chains, 1 single crochet in the last 2 chains, in each of the last 2 chains, so 1 in this one and 1 in the very last one. So you're going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round. Just place a slip stitch there, and just like that we have a leaf, just like we have here. So you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, leaving behind a tail. This is what our leaf looks like. but these leaves are the ones that are going to create the petals of the flower that we want. So you're going to make 5 more of these, as you can see here, so that you have a total of 6 of them. So turn them onto the right side and make sure this tail that you left behind is in the center, just like that. So this is what we have. We're going to go ahead and tie these knots together. So use the tails that you left behind and tie a double knot, just like that. So we have 2 joined, and now I'm going to attach my 3rd one, place it, and then use one of the tails of the already tied tails and attach the 3rd one, just like that, and then use one of the tails and attach the 4th one. You're going to keep attaching until you have all your 6 petals attached, and make sure all your leaves are facing the right side. So for me, I just do a double knot. Okay, so we have 5 petals now, and then the last one is here. I'll get one of the tails and attach my last one. So just like that, we have our 6 petals attached. Make sure that the knots are secure enough. And at this point, you're going to just go ahead and cut the loose ends off. But make sure you don't cut very close to the knot. Leave a short distance behind. Don't cut right next to the knot. So I have one loose end here. I'm going to just weave it in or get rid of it. Just secure it and cut it off. So this is what we have. We have a total of 6 leaves that are supposed to create the petals of the flower. So you're going to put this aside, and then you're going to get your yarn and your hook. We are now going to create this middle section, which is the circular shape, supposed to create the center of the flower. So to do that, I'm going to make a magic ring. And then make a chain of 1. This doesn't count as anything, just to close off the magic ring. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet, and double crochet into the magic ring 11 more times. So in total, we want 12 double crochets, including the chain 3. So 11 double crochets and the chain 3 that counts as a double crochet, which makes a total of 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So once you're done with this, you're going to pull on your tail and then slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. Make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. At this time, you're going to leave behind a long enough loose end, because this one we are going to use it for attaching this circular shape onto the center of our flower, just like this. So I hope you can get the image now. So what we are going to do is to get our darning needle. Let me get mine here. And we are going to weave in the tail of the magic ring. So just like that. All right, so after weaving in the tail of your magic ring so that it doesn't fall apart, you're going to use this tail that you've left behind, the long tail, and you're going to thread it into our darning needle. Now we're going to attach it into the center of our leaves, and we're going to start attaching in and out of each stitch. Just place your work like this. Actually, just hold it so that the leaves are evenly distributed, and you start going in and out of every stitch while attaching the leaves onto this circular shape. Just find the best way possible to do this. Make sure the leaves are evenly distributed around the circular shape. So I'm going in and out of every stitch while attaching the leaves onto the circle. All right, so when you make it all the way around, you'll have something that looks like this. So this has created our flower, and now you can turn your work to the back side and weave in this tail. Once you're done, you're going to cut off the loose end, and this is what the back side of the flower will look like, but the right side will be very neat and the stitches will be very beautiful. So this is how to create these flowers. You're going to go ahead and make several of them depending on how many that you want to attach onto your dress. And let's go back to the dress so that we can see how to attach these flowers onto what we already have. Alright, so you're going to introduce your dress, and then you're going to place your petals the way you wish for them to be placed on your dress. So I'm going to kind of follow the same exact placement as my inspirational photo. Maybe one here. I may have to do some more flowers because my dress is quite longer than my inspirational photo based on my client's desire. So I may have to do some more flowers so that we kind of have the same look, something very close to what she wanted. Okay, so I may have to do maybe 2 or 3 more flowers. So let me just show you how to attach the flowers, and then you'll go ahead and attach your flowers in any way that you wish. So I'm going to put my hand under this piece, one layer of the flower, so that I don't join while joining the second panel or the back side of the dress. So you're just going to go in and out of every stitch. Just like we've done when attaching the circular shape, we're going to go in and out of every stitch. So go onto the edges, but don't place the stitches very close to each other. You can just do maybe 3 times, and then you go onto the second side. As you can see here, I'm skipping a gap. So just like that, and then I can go behind a little bit and then come to the front, leaving behind a big gap, and then pull through, and then go behind by 1 stitch, and then go ahead by like 3 stitches, and then pull through. So just like that, we are done attaching our very first petal. You're going to go onto your next petal, do the same, onto your next, do the same. This is going to take a while, but this is the only way that you're going to have your petals attached comfortably well onto the dress. So just like this, you're going to go all the way around. So far we've attached this one and this one. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the remaining petals, and then keep attaching all the other flowers onto the dress, and I'll show you the final look of my dress. So this is the final look of our dress. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. Rate me in the comment section and let me know how we did. Is it very close to the inspiration or not? And And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Don't forget to check out the written pattern and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing content. Bye, guys.